The alarm bells rang across the Zeltharian Empire's most secure border station. Commander Vextal stared at his control panel with wide eyes. The 7 layers of quantum shields that protected their space had never been broken. Not once in 300 years. But now something had gone through them like they were not even there. "Sir, we have a problem," said Officer Klemda from her station. Her forearms moved quickly over the controls. "Something small just passed through all our defenses. The shields did not even slow it down." Commander Vextal walked over to look at her screen. What he saw made no sense. A tiny ship, no bigger than a fighter, had somehow broken through shields that could stop entire battle fleets. The shields were still working. They showed green on all displays, but something had passed right through them. "How big is it?" he asked. "About 30 meters long, sir. Very small. But the energy readings are strange. I have never seen anything like this before." The commander felt his stomach twist. He had been protecting this border for 20 years. Nothing had ever gotten through. Not even the Empire's own ships could pass without the right codes. "Send a message to Admiral Kexthun right away," he ordered. "Use the emergency channel. Tell him we have a code black situation." Within minutes, every sensor station in 3 sectors was tracking the mysterious ship. It moved in a straight line toward the heart of the Empire. It did not try to hide. It did not change course. It just flew forward like it owned the space around it. Admiral Kexthun received the message in his office on the capital world. He was a tall, blue-skinned Zeltharian with 6 eyes that could see in many different ways. When he read the report, all 6 eyes opened wide. "This cannot be right," he said to himself. He called his assistant. "Get me a direct line to Border Station 7 now." The call connected quickly. Commander Vextal appeared on the screen looking worried. "Admiral, I know this sounds crazy, but something just broke through our quantum shields. All 7 layers. We did not even detect it until it was already past them." "That is impossible," the Admiral said. "Those shields use the most advanced technology in the Empire." "What kind of ship is it?" "Unknown design, sir. Very small. It is heading straight for the core worlds. Speed is..." "Admiral, it is moving faster than our best ships. Much faster." Admiral Kexthun felt cold fear run through his body. The quantum shields around Border Station 7 were the strongest in the Empire. They had been built after the last Great War to make sure no enemy could ever reach their homeworlds. The shields used power from 3 suns and could stop anything. "Send me all the data you have," he ordered, "and track that ship. Do not lose it." The Admiral ended the call and immediately contacted the Empire's High Command. Within an hour, emergency meetings were happening on every major world. Military leaders, scientists, and government officials all asked the same question: how? Dr. Yithmar was the Empire's top shield expert. She had helped design the quantum barriers that protected their space. When she saw the data from Border Station 7, she could not believe it. "This should not be possible," she told the Emergency Council. "Our shields work by creating a barrier in space itself. Nothing can pass through them without the right frequency codes, nothing." "But something did pass through," Admiral Kexthun said. "We have proof. The question is what and how." General Vorthak, head of military intelligence, spoke up. "Maybe it is some kind of new weapon." "An enemy testing our defenses. What enemy?" asked Minister Klaxwan. "We are at peace with all known civilizations. Our military is the strongest in this part of the galaxy. Who would dare attack us?" The mysterious ship continued its journey toward the Empire's core. It passed by 3 more border stations. Each time the same thing happened. The shields detected nothing. The ship went right through them like they were empty space. Captain Zexta commanded one of these stations. She watched in amazement as the small ship approached her defenses. She had 6 layers of quantum shields, almost as strong as Border Station 7. "All stations prepare for contact," she ordered. "Raise shields to maximum power." Her crew watched their screens as the ship came closer. The shields were working perfectly. Energy readings showed they were at full strength. But when the ship reached them, it simply passed through. The shields did not react at all. "By the stars," whispered her weapons officer. "How is it doing that?" The ship continued past them without stopping or even slowing down. Captain Zexta immediately sent her report to Admiral Kexthun. Back on the capital world, panic was starting to spread. The Admiral had called in experts from across the Empire, but no one had answers. The mysterious ship was now only 2 days away from the core worlds. "We need to know what this thing is," the Admiral said to his staff. "Send out scout ships. I want them to get close and scan it. But tell them to be careful." 3 fast scout ships launched from the nearest military base. They were the Empire's best. with advanced sensors and shields of their own. Their orders were simple. Get close to the unknown ship and find out everything they could about it. Commander Hickstal led the scout mission. As they approached the mysterious ship, his sensors began picking up strange readings. The ship looked smooth and white, like it was made of some unknown metal. It had no visible weapons or engines, but it was moving faster than anything in the Empire's fleet. "This is Scout Leader to Command," Commander Hickstal reported. "We are within scanning range. The ship appears to be of unknown design. No weapons detected, but I am reading massive energy output from within. Sir, I do not think this is from any race we know." "Keep scanning," Admiral Kexthun ordered. "We need more information." But as the scouts moved closer, something unexpected happened. The mysterious ship suddenly stopped moving. For the first time since it had entered Empire space, it came to a complete halt. The 3 scout ships quickly moved into a triangle formation around it, their sensors working at full power. Then, without warning, the ship sent out a communication signal. It was not in any language the Empire knew, but their computers quickly began working on a translation. Within minutes, they had an answer. The message was simple, but it sent chills through everyone who heard it. "We see you watching us. Do not interfere. We have business with your Empire." Admiral Kexthun stared at the translated message on his screen. Whatever this ship was, whoever was inside it, they spoke with confidence. They were not afraid of the Empire's military. They were not asking for permission to enter Empire space. They were simply telling the Empire to stay out of their way. Fleet Admiral Zoreth stood on the bridge of his flagship, the mighty destroyer of worlds. He was the Empire's greatest military commander, with victories in 12 major wars. His fleet had never known defeat. Today he was taking 300 of the Empire's finest warships to stop one small human vessel. "Admiral," his tactical officer reported, "all ships are in position. We have formed a blockade across the human ship's path. They cannot get through without fighting us." Admiral Zoreth nodded. His fleet was spread across 3,000 kilometers of space. Each ship was armed with weapons that could crack moons. Together they had enough firepower to destroy entire solar systems. "Have we heard anything more from the human ship?" he asked. "No, sir. They have not responded to any of our messages. They just keep coming straight at us." Admiral Zoreth looked at the tactical display. The human ship was still hours away, but it had not changed course or slowed down. It was flying directly toward the center of his battle line. "Weapon status?" he asked. "All ships report ready, sir. Particle cannons charged, missile tubes loaded, shield breakers armed. We are ready for anything." But Admiral Zoreth felt uneasy. Something about this situation was wrong. Why would one small ship challenge an entire fleet? Either the humans were crazy, or they knew something the Empire did not. "Sir," called his communications officer, "we are receiving a message from the human ship." "Put it on screen." A human face appeared on the main display. It was a woman with short brown hair and calm blue eyes. She looked directly at Admiral Zoreth as she spoke. "I am Commander Sarah Chen of the Earth vessel Retribution. You are blocking our path to the Vex Nebula. Move your ships or we will move them for you." Admiral Zoreth stepped forward. "I am Fleet Admiral Zoreth of the Zeltharian Empire. You are one small ship against 300 warships. Surrender now and we will guarantee your safety." Commander Chen smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. "Admiral, you still do not understand. We are not here to surrender. We are here to collect what belongs to us. This is your last chance to move. And if we refuse, then you will learn why you should never steal from humans." The transmission ended. Admiral Zoreth stared at the blank screen. The human woman had shown no fear at all. She spoke like she was the one with the superior force. "All ships prepare for battle," Admiral Zoreth ordered. "Target the human vessel. Fire when it comes within range." The human ship continued its approach. As it got closer, the Empire's sensors began picking up more detailed readings. What they found made no sense. "Sir," reported the science officer, "I am reading massive energy output from the human ship. The levels are impossible for something that small. Also, sir, I am not detecting any weapons." "No weapons?" Admiral Zoreth asked. "Then how do they plan to fight 300 ships?" "I do not know, sir. But the energy readings keep climbing. Whatever is powering that ship, it is far beyond our technology." The human ship was now within firing range. Admiral Zoreth gave the order. "All ships open fire." 300 warships fired at once. Particle beams, plasma cannons, antimatter missiles, and gravity bombs all converged on the tiny human vessel. The combined firepower was enough to destroy a small planet. But something incredible happened. The weapons passed right through the human ship like it was not there. Every shot missed, even though their targeting computers said they had hit directly. "What just happened?" Admiral Zorth demanded. "Sir, our sensors show we hit the target, but there was no impact. No explosion, no damage, nothing. It is like the ship is not really there." The human vessel continued forward, flying through the space where thousands of weapons had just struck. It had not slowed down or changed course at all. "Fire again," Admiral Zorth ordered. "All ships, continuous fire." The fleet fired everything they had. Beam after beam, missile after missile struck the human ship and passed through it harmlessly. The small vessel flew through the massive barrage like it was flying through empty space. Then the human ship began to respond. Thin beams of pure white light shot out from the human vessel. Each beam was no thicker than a finger, but they moved with perfect accuracy. One beam touched the Empire's Pride, a massive battleship, and suddenly the ship went dark. Its engines stopped, its weapons powered down, its shields failed. Another beam touched the heavy cruiser Victory's Edge. The same thing happened. The ship simply stopped working. "Sir," called the communications officer, "I am receiving reports from all over the fleet. Ships are being disabled, but there are no casualties. The crews are alive, but their ships are completely powerless." Admiral Zorth watched in horror as his mighty fleet was systematically shut down. The human ship moved through them like a predator among prey. Each white beam that touched a ship left it floating dead in space, but the crews reported no injuries. "How are they doing this?" he whispered. His science officer looked up from his instruments with wide eyes. "Sir, I think I understand. The human ship is somehow shifting between dimensions. That is why our weapons pass through it. And their beams, they seem to be targeting our power systems directly. They are not trying to destroy us. They are disabling us." Within 10 minutes, 2/3 of Admiral Zorth's fleet was floating helpless in space. The remaining ships tried to run, but the human vessel was faster than anything they had. One by one, the white beams found them and shut them down. Admiral Zorth's own flagship was one of the last to be targeted. As the white beam approached his ship, he ordered all power to shields. It made no difference. The beam passed through their strongest defenses and touched the ship's main reactor. The lights went out. The engine stopped. The mighty destroyer of worlds became nothing more than a dead hulk floating in space. Commander Chen's voice came over the emergency communications channel. "Admiral Zorth, your fleet is disabled, but your crews are safe. We could have destroyed every ship in minutes, but we chose not to. We are not murderers like your people. We only want our people back." Admiral Zorth sat in his command chair surrounded by dead control panels. His pride was broken, his fleet was beaten, and he had never felt so helpless in his life. "How?" he asked into his emergency communicator. "How did you do this?" "We learned from you," Commander Chen replied. 37 years ago, you took our people to study them. You thought we were primitive and weak, but humans learn fast, Admiral, especially when we are angry. What do you want from us? The same thing we have always wanted. Give us back our people. All of them. Every human you have taken from us over the years. Do this, and we will leave your space in peace." Admiral Zorth looked around his darkened bridge. His officers sat at useless stations staring at blank screens. The greatest fleet in Empire history had been defeated without a single human casualty. "And if we refuse?" he asked. "Then this is just the beginning, Admiral. This ship is not our only weapon. We have been preparing for this day for 37 years. We know where every one of your military bases is located. We know how your technology works. We have been watching you, learning from you, and getting ready." The human ship began moving again, leaving the disabled fleet behind. It continued toward the Vex Nebula, toward whatever remained of the research station where human prisoners had once been held. Admiral Zorth activated his emergency beacon to call for rescue ships. As he waited in the darkness of his dead flagship, he realized that everything had changed. The Empire had always been the hunter, never the prey. Now they were learning what it felt like to be the ones who were afraid. Intelligence Director Morthkel had worked for the Empire for 40 years. She knew where every secret was buried, every classified file was hidden, but as she dug through the old records about the Human Research Project, even she was shocked by what she found. "Bring me everything on Project Deep Study," she ordered her assistants. "I want every file, every report, every piece of data that mentions humans." even the ones marked for destruction. The human ship had reached the Vex Nebula. Long-range sensors showed it hovering over the ruins of the old research station. The station had been destroyed 37 years ago, but the debris field was still there, floating in space like a graveyard. Director Morthkel's team worked through the night, gathering files from hidden databases and backup systems. What they discovered painted a dark picture of the Empire's past. "Director," said her chief researcher, "we found the original mission reports. The humans were not just random subjects. They were specifically chosen because someone thought they would make good soldiers." "What do you mean?" "The research was trying to create super soldiers for the Empire. They wanted to combine human adaptability with Empire technology. The humans were supposed to be test subjects for biological enhancement." Director Morthkel read through the files with growing horror. The project had been run by Dr. Korthvin, a brilliant but cruel scientist. He had taken 153 humans from a colony ship called the New Horizon. The humans had been families, men, women, and children, looking for a new home among the stars. "What happened to them?" she asked. According to the early reports, Dr. Korthvin began his experiments immediately. He was trying to enhance human strength, speed, and intelligence. The humans were kept in laboratory conditions and subjected to various treatments. The director found video files from the research station. What she saw made her sick to her stomach. Humans were being held in small cells like animals in a zoo. They were given tests, subjected to medical procedures, and treated like objects instead of people. But as she read further, she found something strange. After the first year, the reports began to change. "Look at this," she told her assistant. The early reports described the humans as frightened and confused. But later reports say they became cooperative and interested in learning about Empire technology. Maybe they accepted their situation, or maybe they were planning something. Director Morthkel pulled up more files. "Look at these supply requests." After year 2, Dr. Korthvin was ordering advanced scientific equipment. Materials for building computers, power systems, even small spacecraft components. Why would he need that for biological research? He would not, unless the humans convinced him they were helping with the research. Director Morthkel found Dr. Korthvin's personal log files. As she read them, a disturbing picture emerged. The human subjects had quickly learned to speak the Empire's language. They had shown interest in the research being done on them. They had begun offering suggestions and asking questions. Dr. Korthvin had been impressed by their intelligence. In his logs, he wrote about how quickly the humans learned and adapted. He began treating them more like research assistants than test subjects. "The fool," Director Morthkel whispered. He thought they were helping him. He had no idea they were using him. The logs showed that the humans had gained access to more and more areas of the research station. They were allowed to work with advanced technology, to study Empire science, and to move freely around most of the facility. "Director, look at this," her assistant said. "There are inventory reports showing materials going missing. Small amounts over several years. Computer components, power cells, communication equipment. They were building something," Director Morthkel realized, right under Dr. Korthvin's nose. They were constructing their own equipment. The final log entry was dated exactly 37 years ago. Dr. Korthvin wrote about a breakthrough in his research. The humans had helped him develop a new type of power source that was far more efficient than anything the Empire had. He was excited to test it. That was his last entry. The official report said there had been an explosion at the research station. All personnel and subjects were presumed dead. The station was completely destroyed, and the wreckage was left as a warning about the dangers of uncontrolled experiments. But Director Morthkel found evidence that some humans had escaped before the explosion. Emergency pod launch records showed several small craft leaving the station in the hours before it was destroyed. They did not just escape, she realized. They planned the whole thing. They spent years learning our technology, stealing materials and building their own ships. Then they destroyed the station to cover their tracks. She found one more piece of evidence buried deep in the files. A partial transmission that had been detected leaving the area right after the explosion. The Empire's computers had recorded it, but never translated it because they thought it was meaningless static. Director Morthkel ran the transmission through modern translation programs. The message was in an early form of human language. "This is Sarah Chen reporting to Earth Command. Mission partially successful. 17 survivors recovered from the research station. Dr. Korthvin's research data secured. Beginning journey home. We will return for the others. Sarah Chen. The same name as the human commander who had just defeated Admiral Zorith's fleet. Director Morthkel immediately called Admiral Kexthun. Admiral, we have a serious problem. The humans who escaped 37 years ago took all of Dr. Korthvin's research with them. Everything we knew about advanced power systems, dimensional shifting, energy weapons, they have it all. Are you saying they used our own technology against us? Worse than that, Admiral. They have had 37 years to improve on it. The ship that just defeated our fleet is not just using Empire technology. It is using Empire technology that has been enhanced beyond anything we can build. Admiral Kexthun was quiet for a long moment. What about the other humans? The ones who did not escape? That is the worst part, Admiral. They are still alive. What do you mean? I found more classified files. Dr. Korthvin was not the only one doing research on humans. There are 6 other facilities across the Empire, all running similar projects. The humans who came back, they know about all of them. Director Morthkill sent the Admiral the locations of the hidden research stations. Each one was in a different part of Empire space. Each one held human prisoners who had been taken over the decades. Admiral, she said quietly, we are not dealing with primitives who got lucky. We are facing humans who have spent decades planning their revenge. They know our technology better than we do, because they helped create the most advanced parts of it, and they are not going to stop until they get every one of their people back. Admiral Kexthun looked at the star map, showing the locations of the secret research facilities. The human ship was already moving toward the first one. Soon it would find the evidence of what the Empire had really been doing all these years. Director, he said, how many humans have we taken in total? Over the past 50 years? Nearly 800, Admiral. Men, women, children, all supposedly for scientific research. Admiral Kexthun closed his eyes. The Empire had kidnapped 800 humans and used them as test subjects. Now the survivors had returned with technology that made the Empire's greatest weapons look like toys. We are not fighting a war, he realized. We are facing justice. The human ship Retribution stopped above the ruins of Research Station Vex 7. Commander Sarah Chen stood on her bridge, looking down at the debris field where she had spent 3 years of her life as a prisoner. The station was gone, but the memories remained. Commander, said her tactical officer, long-range sensors are detecting Empire ships approaching. Looks like a diplomatic fleet, not military. Sarah nodded. They are probably coming to talk now that they know we can fight back. Let them come. But as she watched the approaching ships, something else caught her attention. Space began to shimmer near the debris field, like heat waves rising from hot ground. Then, impossible as it seemed, more ships began appearing out of nowhere. They were human ships. Dozens of them materialized from what looked like empty space. Then dozens more. Within minutes, a massive human fleet surrounded the remains of the research station. The ships were beautiful and terrible, combining the best of Empire technology with human engineering improvements. The Empire's diplomatic ships stopped when they saw the human fleet. They had come expecting to negotiate with one small vessel. Instead, they found themselves facing the largest battle fleet any of them had ever seen. Empire vessels, Sarah broadcast on all frequencies. This is Commander Chen, you may approach, but any aggressive action will be met with immediate response. The lead Empire ship was commanded by Ambassador Thelmaya. She had been chosen to negotiate because she was known for her skill at peaceful solutions. But as she looked at the human fleet surrounding her small diplomatic group, she realized this was unlike any negotiation she had ever faced. Commander Chen, she said, I am Ambassador Thelmaya of the Zeltharian Empire. We have come to discuss your demands. My demands are simple, Sarah replied. Return all human prisoners from every research facility in your space. Submit to inspection teams to ensure no humans remain hidden. Stop all research projects using human subjects. We are not sure what you are referring to, Ambassador Thelmaya said, though her voice lacked conviction. Sarah's image appeared on the Empire ship's screens. Her face was calm, but her eyes were hard as steel. Ambassador, we have had 37 years to plan for this moment. We know about Station Korth 12 in the Hexus system, where you keep human children for genetic experiments. We know about Laboratory Vex Prime, where you test biological weapons on human adults. We know about research-based Tylon 4, where you study human brain patterns. Ambassador Thelmaya felt her blood turn cold. Those were the most classified locations in the Empire, No one outside of the highest levels of government was supposed to know they existed. Should I continue? Sarah asked. We know about all 6 facilities, Ambassador. We know how many humans you hold at each one. We even know the names of the scientists running the projects. How is that possible? Sarah smiled, but there was no warmth in it. Because we have been watching you for 37 years. Every ship that leaves your space, we track. Every communication you send, we intercept. Every new research station you build, we know about before you finish construction. The truth was even more frightening than that. Sarah did not tell the ambassador that humans had been infiltrating Empire worlds for decades. Humans looked different from most Empire races, but they were adaptable. With the right technology, they could disguise themselves well enough to blend in. Human agents worked in Empire shipyards, listening to conversations about new military projects. They served in Empire restaurants, overhearing classified discussions between government officials. They even worked in Empire research facilities, quietly documenting every crime being committed against their people. What do you want from us? Ambassador Thelmaya asked. I told you what I want. Free our people. All of them today. That is not a decision I can make. Only the Emperor himself could authorize something like that. Then get him. Within hours, Emperor Vorthkan himself appeared on the communication channel. He was an ancient Zeltharian with golden skin and 12 eyes that showed his advanced age and wisdom. He had ruled the Empire for over 200 years and had never backed down from a challenge. I am Emperor Vorthkan, he said with the voice of absolute authority. You are in Empire space threatening Empire citizens. Withdraw immediately or face the full power of our military. Sarah looked at him with the same calm expression she had shown everyone else. Your Majesty, your military has already faced our power. Admiral Zoreth's fleet is currently floating dead in space. Their crews alive, but their ships disabled. We could have killed them all, but we chose not to. One victory does not win a war, human. You are right, Sarah agreed. One victory does not win a war. But we are not here to win a war, Your Majesty. We are here to end one. A war your people started 50 years ago when you began kidnapping human civilians. Emperor Vorthkan's 12 eyes narrowed. We have no record of any such actions. Sarah gestured and data began streaming to the Empire ships. Files, video recordings, research reports, and communication logs. All the evidence that Intelligence Director Morthkill had found. Plus much more that the humans had collected over the decades. These are your records, Your Majesty, taken from your own databases. They show 50 years of crimes against humanity. 800 of our people taken from their homes and families. Used as test subjects, treated like animals. The Emperor reviewed the data with growing alarm. Much of it was classified above his own security level. These humans had somehow gained access to the most secret information in the Empire. What you are showing me, he began, is the truth, Sarah finished. Your Majesty, we are not here for conquest. We are not here for revenge, though we would be justified in taking it. We are here for our people. Give them back to us and we will leave your space in peace, and if we refuse... Sarah's expression did not change, but the space around the human fleet began to shimmer again. More ships appeared, then more. The human fleet doubled in size, then doubled again. Then we will take them, Sarah said simply. Your Majesty, we have had 37 years to prepare for this day. We have built ships that your weapons cannot touch. We have weapons that can disable your fleets without killing your crews. We have infiltrated your government, your military, your research facilities. She paused, letting her words sink in. But most importantly, we have learned patience. We could have attacked you years ago, but we waited. We waited until we were absolutely certain we could free every one of our people. We waited until we had the power to force you to listen. Emperor Vorthkan looked at the massive human fleet surrounding his ships. Each vessel was larger and more advanced than anything in his navy. The humans had not just stolen Empire technology, they had perfected it. What guarantee do we have that you will leave if we comply? He asked. You have our word, Sarah replied. Humans do not break their promises, Your Majesty. Unlike some species, the Emperor was quiet for a long time. Finally he spoke. Very well. You will have your people. All of them. But I want guarantees that you will never interfere with the Empire again. Agreed. As long as you never take humans again. Your Majesty, we just want to live in peace. But we will never again allow our people to be enslaved. Within days, human ships began arriving at the secret research facilities across Empire space. The prisoners they found were in various conditions. Some had been treated well, kept healthy for research purposes. Others had been damaged by years of experiments and abuse, but they were alive and they were going home. Sarah stood on her bridge watching the rescue operations. Her second-in-command, Commander Williams, joined her at the viewport. "It is over," he said. "This part is over," Sarah corrected. "But we can never let our guard down again. The Empire has learned that humans are not to be underestimated. Other species will learn that lesson too in time." The last human prisoner was rescued from Research Station Tylon 4. As the human fleet prepared to leave Empire space, Sarah sent one final message to Emperor Vorthkan. "Your Majesty, today you learned that humanity remembers its friends and its enemies. We remember kindness and we repay it with loyalty. We remember cruelty and we repay it with justice. You chose to make us your enemies, but we have chosen to show you mercy." She paused, then added, "Do not make us choose differently next time." The human fleet began to move, heading back toward Earth space. As they left, Sarah looked back at the Empire worlds one last time. "Humanity does not start wars," she said quietly, "but we always finish them." Behind them, the Zeltharian Empire began the long process of learning to live in a galaxy where humans could no longer be ignored, underestimated, or harmed without consequence. The age of human isolation was over. The galaxy would never be the same again.